and welcome back to Empire Total War with Darth Mod. So it seems the Mahathan Confederacy did not like the fact that we was gonna trade military access. Well, very unfavorable, because they wanted me to give them technology and £6,000 as well, and they had a number of other loony deals that they wanted to get to go set up with us. Anyways, it seems that his drag made her quite mad, and so she has declared war on us. I will not drag in my allies, because I don't want to lose any of them. The alliances are really to keep them happy and not to declare war on me more than I actually need their aid. Although it would be interesting to see Austrian troops marching around down in India. Anyways, let's go ahead and, yeah, well, I'll accept it. And the first thing they do is go ahead and raid my tea. This cannot be. And they're gonna go ahead directly ahead to try to attack that fort. What I will do is I can march directly and stop them at the bridge. Question is if no, by Allah, go fuck yourself. Went ahead and burnt. They burnt this as well. That must be a spy. Ally request assistance. Aggressor Poland, Lithuania. Defender Portugal. So am I allied with Poland, Lithuania? Ally attack. Entrance on the side of ally. And there was loads of these going on. No, we will break alliance. Aston. Oh, so another priest. Election results. Ah. Okay, so the others weren't what I thought they were. Enemy raid plantation. Letter of demand. Workers on strike. Recruitment report. Fleet arrives. That's good. This fleet has arrived, and so we can get more ivory going. Up to £2,000 this time around. Being built. Trains gained. A lot of mistresses among my cabinet. Although that mistress... This one gives 1 happiness. But this one... I don't know. It looks... Wait. Not very ladylike as he would. So it's a man. It's a homosexual. Let's see, who is this homosexual in my cabinet? It was this man. Commander of it's the Admiral, the First Lord of the Admiralty, has a male mistress. Happy for the nobility is happy with it. He's incorruptible. He's devout, and he's fond of sailors. So we really should see this coming. I mean, and also for a man in his 70s, he's taken a mistress. Very, very interesting man. Although it doesn't really hurt his performance. It just means that the lower classes are a bit unhappy. But this is, of course, we're talking about the First Lord of the Admiralty. And why would I give an absolute toss about what the lower classes think when it's the word against the Lord of the Admiralty? First thing we'll do is we'll liberate Goa. So we'll march in here and with demand surrender. What I'm going to do is I'm going to autosave here, and then since I don't want to do loads of battle, we're going to out-resolve this, and I'm hoping we go ahead and do a victory, and that's good. We lost quite a lot of men though. The region is ours, but we're too weak to continue. It cost us probably quite a lot to capture this. So now this region is ours, which is very good. Oh, gone as a enemy unit has moved over there.
Chase them down.
Where did you come from?
Glorious victory.
Yes,
Yes.
glorious victory. Well, not super glorious. The navy. The enemy doesn't really have anything besides this port, so let's go ahead and attack that. We'll lay it under siege. Is this one under siege? No, the Mughal guys were just standing there. We need to stop any trade with the enemy nation.
Yes, sir.
So that sort of is within their influence,
Forwards.
and I want to just stand there and sort of hope that
At the ready.
the battle will go ahead and commence at the bridge. There's a risk of this army here attacking down and attacking us over here. We probably need more men, and we probably need more guns, and we probably need more cavalry. Mortars is needed, and cavalry that will support our armies.
Yeah.
Protestantism is on the rise. Let's go ahead and check North America. North America, I didn't actually realize that this was their home capital.
Ready and awaiting orders.
And so this army needs to be stationed here to hold this under control. And the priest will turn here immediately, since there's a lot of hostile religion, or we need to really turn this around to get this going. This army is going to move in between here, and we're going to get rid of the Hessian mercenaries and the pikemen and the militia units. They're all going to be disbanded, and instead they're going to be replaced by Rogers Rangers, King's Royal Regiment, Company of Select Marksmen, Fraser's Rangers, and 12-pounder howitzers. And then we got loads of Hessen-Kessel Grenadiers. This is going to come from Quebec. And we're going to have more Rangers joining up as well,
Yes, sir.
which will strengthen this army. And then it can move down and aid in the possible reconquest of this region. Oh, they're building up stuff here. How far can a unit from this region walk? It can walk quite far. So this army can already start to move in this direction. We are building roads here and here, so that's good. And you are turning over there, that's good. How's it going out here? We're still holding this
Where to, Captain?
port on the siege. They're building up quite the force though. But as long as their navy isn't doing anything, we've got that pretty safe and sound. I did upgrade all of these sugar plantations. I imagine the sugar has lost quite a bit. Well, it's only lost actually 1 point there. And it's still more valuable than coffee. The thing though is, ivory is 21. Wasn't there a thing in this, or is that in Universalis that the price increases the more new buildings are built? Was that just me going around? 7,000. So our trade with Sweden is one of the most important trade routes we have. Back to India. I'm not entirely sure if I should move up so I stand exactly on the bridge. That could trigger... No, it did not trigger a battle. So that's good. But we gotta keep an eye on this, because they've got quite a lot of troops here, which could go ahead and attack our army over here, which certainly is not ready to take on an enemy full stack of that size. And they might be able to march as well from this region all the way to Hyderabad, which would be very unfortunate. Right, back to North America. North America, there's not really going to be a battle here, is there? So we should look at India as we change or do our turn. End turn. And we've got France, Austria. It should also be, once this turn is done, I should have fire by rank. So, troops as the, what's they called? The Highlander troops that I have should now be able to fire from all for the next turn. They will be, all ranks will be firing, which will be good. Although they fire in a sequence, like first rank, second rank, and third rank. I'm not entirely sure if you make it thicker, then like fourth rank will fire. Oh, wow! So he just bypassed me because the river ends there, but he wasn't able to get very far. Thing is, we'll be able to strike him in the back now. Problem is that now he stands in between us and gaining the support of the howitzers that were recently built in Hyderabad. Can I send them around? Okay, so they keep sabotaging this place, unfortunately. So troops being recruited, good. Advances, fire by rank. The firing pattern of infantry units produce a barrage of musketry by having each rank or line of men fire in turn. By careful timing, it's possible for constant fire to be maintained for as soon as one rank is fired, it begins reloading. And historically, it was usual for units to draw up in formations 3 ranks deep, this being considered the best compromise between weight of fire and ease of control. Deeper formations were tried, but there was always a risk to the men in the forward ranks from careless shots from the rearmost ranks. Men were shot in the back by inexperienced comrades. Of course, this firing pattern also meant that only 1 man in 3 was ever reloaded and ready to fire at any given time. Construction report, or that it wasn't, I guess, as a negative thing, it means that every 3rd man was ready. So I think I said it with a connotation as though it was a negative thing, when it really wasn't. This guy his faith is refined, but this guy gets test of endurance. So it seems the curry is still wreaking havoc among some of my men. Yes. Pippin, you will get these extra rangers coming to your aid. And then really, I mean, I could what you would need is cavalry. Yes, this force is in need of a lot of cavalry. I've actually not recruited very much cavalry. Colonial light cavalry. Do we have any other cavalry? What can we get here? No, we get colonial dragoons. Which one is better in terms of melee? Because that's 13, so 9, 13, 11, 9, 13, 11, 9, 13, 11. Yeah, these guys are a lot better. So we're gonna get loads of these coming in and joining this force, and this force as well. Let's go for government council in this area, actually. And we actually got some nice support by the 13 colonies, making sure that they are working on our regions as well, turning them Protestant. The army here is replenished, and so it could continue down towards Philadelphia, but I want maybe the Americans to do it on their own. We'll see how that goes. No place here is really needed. This place is fine. This place, well, Europe is fine, I should say. Continue up towards somewhere around there, and then you will continue through into this region. And then we've got this battle right here, so these reinforcements cannot really reach them.
Take ready.
So we'll have to fight right there. Lucky though for me, this force has not decided. They have increased their numbers, but they have not decided to attack this area right here, which is good, because then I'm hoping that the reinforcement can reach at the same time as
Lord's servant.
Ogoa is of course large part Catholic, so we should get a priest there actually.
What do you require of me?
So get him in there.
Rest a while.
Yes. Is there anything else? No, there's nothing really else to do. Let's just make sure by saving. Large battle, tendency to crash.
Ready and awaiting order.
And will we get reinforced by these two? Because I think that will be quite important.
Forward.
We can get quite close, but I don't think we will can get close enough to actually join in with this force. So yes, without further ado, Diggory Archer
Them aside.
will go attack the enemy. We'll go ahead and auto-save, so we'll just fully guard ourselves. Okay, so we get 2 reinforcement armies. We do outnumber the enemy. We do have more cannons. The enemy, however, has more cavalry. And they might have better cavalry as well. But hopefully, Diggory Archers will be victorious. And if he is, that will put the Marhathans at a great disadvantage, because their army, which they intended to continue their campaign, that's why they declared war, of course, they thought they had a chance with this army that they're advancing. And if it fails, you know what? I need to see if the Mughal Empire is still war with the Marhathans. The problem is with Empire, I don't think there's an option like in Napoleon where you can sort of pay people. Or you can sort of, if you're very good friends with someone, you can sort of drag them in to the battle. Or not the battle, but the war. Ah! So we actually end up on this place, which is very good. This will safeguard my artillery from any movements by the enemy. And then we've got the waithing spot right here, which you can go across. I think there's only one. I'm hoping there's only one. I think it's the exact same as in Napoleon. So it should just be this and the bridge. Let's go ahead and pick out the Sepoy units out of all of these. East India, Sepoy, East India, Sepoy, Sepoy, East India, Sepoy. So there we go. There we got all the Indian troops. East India Company, East India Company, East India, East India, East India, East India, East India. Right. What I think I'll do is we'll have the East Indians, the East India Company, or we have 4 of them on this side. And then we have 4 of them on this side. We'll have, let's see, we'll have 5 Sepoys on this side, 2 on this side, because, well, on this side there's not as much. The Sepoys are good at shooting, and if there's not a lot of, oh wait, we've got more Sepoys over here. Well, these will be reserves behind the cannons. These East India Company can go over here, be on this side. The cavalry will have an easier time moving across this area. They will be hell to march across that stupid bridge. So yes, what I was saying was, the reason why I've set it up like this is the East India Company is really, they're better in melee than the Sepoys, and the Sepoys are better in shooting. So we want more Sepoys can shoot anything that tries to cross here, and we need more East India Company because there's going to be more melee, I believe, on this side. And there we open up. So what I want to do is on each of the banks we're gonna have sepoy ready to shoot the enemy. And then in there we're gonna have 2 East India. And then behind we're gonna have 2 East India. Maybe not maybe that good to have the reinforcements behind the cannons. Because I imagine that there's gonna be a cannon duel. No, they're shooting at my cavalry. Well, that's nice. Let's see if we need to target their artillery. And we are. So this one is almost destroyed already. We'll continue fire upon that until it gives way. And let's see, we got the crossing right over there. So we want to prepare in case the enemy wants to cross. With the East India Company behind. We're gonna just, this cavalry unit's just gonna have to take it while our artillery pulverizes there. This one's destroyed. Now fire on this one. Get rid of it. And I'm hoping that once we've destroyed their artillery, that it sort of will force them to come against us. Chosen a very interesting position for the artillery here, placing it behind this stone wall. In Empire though, the cannons fire at a very strange arc. The cannon shot almost directly just bounces straight up as soon as it's fired. Let's see if we can see that if we maybe go into slow-mos when we see them fire there. And so you see it goes directly upwards as though the barrel was angled, even though you can clearly see that it's not. So these guys can clearly shoot as soon as anything comes close there. Thing is, we can bombard these since we have more cannons. Even though technically the enemy is defending, we can just bombard them as long as we want. Seems like, yes, they're sending over some lancers. Let's hold fire until we've got them exactly where we want them. Fire at will. Give them a good volley. Don't you have hold position? Yeah. So these units do not use fire by rank, which is actually probably quite good in this case. Okay, the enemy cannons are not completely destroyed yet. So we want to keep pounding that area until they're completely destroyed. But then we're going to have to focus in the artillery right over here. Wait for it. Open fire. And then these two will open fire as well. Boom! The enemy cavalry is trying to... What's this? There's some kind of new cavalry unit. Oh, there's a lot of cavalry coming in here. East India Company firing into the other guy's back, which is not really what we want. So hold fire. This sepoy unit was quite devastated by this cavalry attack, which is not very nice. So let's send over these three as reinforcements. Let's see, the artillery, are you done with the enemy artillery? Well, they've got one cannon still operational, with one cannon crew, actually 4. Although they are shattered, so they're gonna go home with their cannon. Which means we do not no longer needs to fire over there. Instead, we will concentrate our artillery fire over there. Right over there. Okay, we can hold fire now because it's infantry, and infantry is going to take a lot longer in getting into position. Maybe I should have put the artillery where they fired closer to the center there, because the shots that land in the water don't do anything. Hold your fire. I hope you're all reloaded. Let the enemy come close. I think we'll replace these two, and maybe we'll make it the entire line bit bigger of the area which we control here. So hold it. Hold it. Let them come a bit closer. Let more of them come in. Okay, I think we have to open fire now. Fire! And it's a death trap. They're trying their best to get through the lines, but they are shot down. So these two, we'll go ahead and replace these two. What we'll do is we'll have this one come next to this one. These two will go there, and then these two will retreat. Keep firing into all of this, breaking those enemies. Hold fire cannons and find your own targets. I think we're close enough so these two can now retreat. We should center the area a bit more though. So get these two to be a bit more centered. Run into position and then fire at will. The stupid enemy is marching into my trap, is dying by the hundreds. The artillery has chosen to all focus in on this unit for some reason. Look at these. They're highly trained veteran troops, but they're all getting slaughtered by incompetent leadership. And these men keep just marching into this. The amount of musket fire we're laying into this is incredible, and it's just murdering everything. Let's see if we can provoke the Lancers to do an attack, and then maybe we fire on these guys to get them moving, these two units. I think there's more actually, there's quite a few more units here. We'll provoke these guys to get move on soon. So this full stack Indian army, this is gonna be such a heroic victory. Well, not really heroic, but it will be heroic by the game, but it's really a massacre. So this unit's actually the only unit that's probably doing any good by sitting there and firing from this side of the river. The cannon shots are just landing in the river, so they're not actually damaging these men just yet. I imagine some shots will come through. You know what? Let's provoke these guys. But first, I'll tell these guys to hold, so we get a barrage going with all the cannons at once firing on that position and forcing them to move. The poor enemy is getting absolutely destroyed. Right, are the cannons reloaded? Yes, they are. I want you to turn all your cannons and attention over there to the Islamic swordmen. Blow them to hell. We're going to take a closer look as the barrage is going to hit this region. There we go. Number of the cannons are firing. Shots are landing, bouncing through. There comes the rest. And we just activated a load of the units. Let's make sure that we get this one as well going. There were only 3. I thought maybe there were more, like maybe some hidden units. This unit is actually standing still. And they seemingly have been able to inflict quite a bit of damage on our men. Loads of cannon shot went through here. Seem to have bounced through this one for the most part and hit the cavalry instead. Which is just as well, because we want to get rid of that cavalry unit. Now I want to hit that unit over there and get rid of that one that's actually causing harm to our men. Lots of bullets landing in the water in between. I'm hoping... Oh, there comes the barrage. Kind of missed the unit though. It might be because of that hill, but it's not. It's in the way of 3 artillery. 3 out of 3. But the rest of them should be able to open fire upon this. Maybe it's time to ready the cavalry to move in a position where they can charge through and get rid of the remainder of these troops. We're letting this Islamic swordman come across. Yes, they're moving on to dry land, which will improve the casualties they'll take by the artillery. At the same time, the Islamic swordmen are moving in. Wait. Some unit of these have lost... Oh, they can no longer fire. Oh, they're moving back. Well, that's just as well, because then we can get both of them at the same time. So this unit's actually out of bullets. They're not sure what's... Oh! They're giving up. Shoot at them before they run away. Hold your fire. March back. And it's now up to the cavalry to go through and get them. We need to get rid of all of them. We don't want to fight them later on. So the East India Company cavalry is mobilized. Can I tell you to move back as well? The artillery needs to hold fire. Well, the artillery can get this. Can continue to fire up on that. The cavalry is moving through. The last of the cavalry units will go for this one. Second last can go for this one. This one can go for that one. And let's see about cutting down as many of these as possible before the day is over. We want to see this army completely and utterly destroyed. Especially the veterans and the Islamic swordmen. We don't want to see any more of them. Continue on, men! Get in among all of these. This unit I really want to destroy. Completely. Charge after them! So I want to make sure that this one's completely destroyed. Or, well, not completely destroyed, but I don't want to see it again. So we'll need to get it down well below 100. Nine men should do. 5. Maybe we can actually completely destroy it. Oh, there's only one guy left. Well, he could tell the rest of the Indian subcontinent what happens if you go up against the British Empire. So off you go, you little Santa Claus. Maybe shoot him with artillery. Right. Decisive victory. Let's see if there's anyone left. Gentlemen of France, perhaps you would care to fire first. Lord Hay, British General, 11th May of 1745 at the Battle of something something. So we lost 631 men. The enemy lost 3,878 men, leaving about 800 men of their army. Highest kill of our army was a sepoy that almost killed 500 of the enemies on his own. So very good. Highest losses was one of our sepoys, probably one in the corner there that took quite a bit of fire from the unit across the river. Oh, you know what? We can continue directly to that region over there.
Yes.
And the Mughal Empire took that. They actually accepted that. Even though they had no cause to do so. The gentleman inside here needs to leave because, well, we're gonna blow that shit to Kingdom Come. Why don't you move across into this region? And the gentleman over here needs to move away as well. What they both can do is they can move towards this region. To the college. Digger Archer, get Corporal in Golden Braids. Very good. So a very big part of India is now under our control. I want to see if I can buy this region of the Austrians. They have built a Jesuit college, so there's probably quite a bit of Catholics here. Let's see if we can buy that off them. And then we need to see if we can go ahead and attack the Mughals. I'm wondering how good the Mughals are compared with the Marathans, because they had quite a problem with the Marathans. I need spies as well to make sure that we can see all these regions. But it looks as though the Mughals are not doing too well given the armies and stuff, and they were taking quite the beating by the Marathans before all of this. So the Marathans did kind of a mistake there in declaring war on Britain. They lost this, and then as they declare war on Britain, they lose Goa and they lose this, leaving only Satara in Bijapur left. And once that's taken, they've got nothing, and the British Empire now stands to control a very large part of India. And soon we will also control a large part of North America, which is very good. Let's see, the victory conditions for this campaign are that I take Gibraltar, so Spain is obviously, we're gonna have to declare war on them. Hindustan, which means that I have to go war with the Mughal Empire. Georgia, no entirely sure who's in control of Georgia right now. Florida and Malta. Who's in control of Malta? I think are the Knights of Malta? The Knights of St. John is actually in control of that. So we're gonna have to attack them. And we're gonna have to go to war against Spain. Who's in control of Georgia? Georgia territory. We got Kentucky territory, Cherokee territory, or it's called Kaintuck territory actually. There, Savannah, Georgia. So the Cherokee Nation is going to be attacked as well. Interesting here how we have a European fort surrounding some kind of totem pole native building. So we're gonna have to dismantle the Spanish Empire as well, which is gonna be a lot of fighting here in the Americas. Not so much in Europe. But I guess we can go ahead and invade some areas like this, Sardinia, possibly create its own nation there. Same with Naples, go ahead and attack there and create its own nation there. And at some point we also have to go ahead and attack the Ottomans, because we need to take Egypt from them. By that time, you know what, we'll probably want to take Cyprus from them as well, but I don't think Cyprus... Oh, it's part of the Syrian territory, so if we take Damascus we get Cyprus as well. None of these islands, it's a shame. We can see about liberating Greece, putting them down under its own control. So there's a lot of liberation stuff. I don't think I want to hold a lot of territory here. I want to sort of make vassals then instead, rather than holding any territory. Besides maybe Hanover? Or no, that could also be a vassal as well. And if I am to defeat France, I don't want to control France. I want to keep France as a vassal then. But anyways, looking at the time here, I think I'm gonna end it, and hopefully you guys enjoy this episode, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!